metal will never die. And we got a guy on the phone with us here that's going to make damn sure that metal music does not die. And we got Sean Boucher. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. How you guys doing out there?
How you doing, man?
Doing all right. Doing all right.
Say hello to Bernie.
Hey, Bernie. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Sean? Hey, thank you for calling our show.
Oh, you're very welcome. You know, it's my pleasure. I always believe in supporting people that are trying to support us and heavy metal music as it is. Actually, I will say melodic heavy metal music. Different.
We have a problem with a lot of the local venues supporting live music.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the problems that I think that the indie bands are having, because a lot of these places just don't want to play bands. They'd rather have some drunk putting quarters in a jukebox. So what's it like in New England for your type of music?
You're absolutely right. It is getting tough. And you know what they want to do? They want to pay cover bands. And I'm not dirting cover bands. I'm not dirting tribute bands. But what I'm telling you is all original bands, it's really hard even in New England. The other thing is you still have, which is a shame, and I don't understand it, even within heavy metal, you still have some people feel that they're in competition. Heavy metal, for the most, I'm going to say it, I've said it 100 times on Facebook, I'm going to say it right now. Heavy metal, true heavy metal, is an alliance.
That's right.
So the bands should be supporting each other and not this segregation of, well, we don't want them to blow us away, or that we're not that subgenre, so they're not heavy, the heavier we are, and we're not light as they are, and that's such BS, because CyberLink, I don't know if you noticed or not, but a lot of the flyers that you've seen, we've booked our own shows.
Well, that's what a lot of bands are doing right now.
Oh, we have provided our own PA at times. I mean, and I will give a shout out, because you asked me to introduce the band. It's very important that I would like to introduce them. Keith is a old school thrash guitarist from other bands, and he's the gorgeous bald guy that we have. And
you mean like me? I'm not.
Well, he's not as gorgeous as you.
Oh, okay.
But he's trying.
Okay.
And
apparently bald is beautiful, they say.
Damn right.
But I'll tell you, I mean, maybe both of you guys can use the same shine polish on your head. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this. Keith was a little nervous about being a singer. And so we gave him his time, and he prevailed. And he really enjoys playing and singing at the same time. So he is now officially one of the backup singers. He hasn't written anything yet. It's that's going to be in his due time, if any, and it's not a necessity. But for us to be more comfortable with each other, that's where it has to go. Now, Christian Jeppy is our drummer. He's the youngest. He's the baby in the band. I think he's like 37, 38. And but his feet are classic Halloween style.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, he can move. That boy can play. And I'll tell you, if he makes a mistake at practice or something like that,
yeah,
he works even twice as hard.
Well,
that's cool.
That's what you're supposed to do.
And he actually recently has been having a microphone in front of his face to get his confidence up with also backup vocals and harmonies.
Yeah.
So the big guy is John Miker Jr., and I will give him a shout out. He is also our bass player, the newest member of the band. He is a great backup singer. He is the official recording engineer of CyberLink's music as you hear it. And there's a reason I'm saying this, and it's not just for appreciation. A lot of bands get an album, and their music sound gets changed. I just saw these guys live. They don't sound like that.
Yeah.
I've heard it a million times.
Yeah.
Guess what? I will give Alone Records from Thessalonian Nikki Grease a shout-out, because what they did is they mastered the CD for us, but what you hear is exactly what John recorded and mixed. We do have some remasters floating around online, but that's for our preference and for our fans. really, John has really pulled things together for us, held us together as a band for guidance as well. And one of the major shout-outs I would really like to give to is Jack Lincourt, or known as Jack Links. Jack and I put the band together. Jack and I put the idea together. Everybody knows me as From the Shadows, Shadow Sanctuary, Shadow Prophet.
So Links and Shadow Links together made you, like you and him, your name?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's how we got down. And Jack manages us. He does a fine job. I asked him myself personally to do that because we were looking for a management. I'm like, I need somebody I can trust. And I looked at him. I says, why don't you do it?
There you go.
I said, you got the qualifications and the professionalism, and I'm kind of a space shot. So let me concentrate on singing and writing. Jack also writes songs. He also writes lyrics. He also can play every instrument. He has been a very big father to this band. And I love all 5 of my guys, forged as one, and, for a reason. And, again, Alone Records, Thessalonian Nikki Grease. Thank you very much for the distribution deal. Really appreciate it. The promotions worldwide. Everybody wants to know the big question. Why do you put on your flyers international recording artists? Well, I got news for you. We're played in Germany. We're played in Greece. We're played in Sweden.
Yay!
We're played in Europe. Now we're played in Ohio. And we're played in Canada. And we're going to keep going.
Sean, we originate in Ohio. You're being heard in Belgium, Germany, Brazil, Paraguay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Scotland.
All over frickin' Canada, Scotland, Ireland, all over the United States. So it originates in Ken, Ohio, but you're being heard all over.
Right on. Thank you very much.
We have listeners all over the frickin' world.
Thank you. And
I
want to give a
Carson
shout out
in
to
Germany?
Ralphie, too.
Yeah, Karsten and
Ralphie's in Australia.
Yeah, we have Australia, New Zealand. Now, Karsten in Germany is a big metalhead. I mean, Bernie
he's going nuts tonight. He's loving it. He's sharing your links and everything. He's loving you guys.
By the way, Sean,
Yes.
you can go on Yesterday and Today's Jukebox Around the World and share your videos anytime in there.
Oh, thank you.
Anytime. I mean, that's what we want you guys to do. That's what that room is for.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I mean, get in there, and that's why Bernie set it up that way. And you can post as much as you want, have fun. Hopefully people will get in there and talk to you and everything else. I mean,
that's what I say, yeah. Post all your music, let the people see what you do, and a lot of people like that. Like, there's a lot of people that are in there.
I mean, we've had...
I could throw like 10 names at the top of my head right now that, everyone's excited we're doing this type of show.
We've had, we've had bands introduce each other or contact other bands and collaborate on
things. And all friend each other,
Excellent.
it's cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, so Yesterday and Today's Jukebox Around the World is that group was set up just for what we are doing. We are, getting local, indie bands, not necessarily signed or unsigned, but the independent bands that are out there just busting their balls every night trying to get their stuff out. We want to help you, and we've got thousands of people from all over the world, and Bernie's got friends from all over the music business, and I mean, it's nuts, the people that are in our group, and you never know, Sean, one of these days, I keep telling Bernie that one, if not more, of our bands are going to hit it big. They're going to hit it big. So
thank you very, very much.
I'm very excited, number one. We've got a lot of our older rock and rollers. I mean, even the Panteras and the Anthrax and the Slayer.
Sure.
All those guys they're in their 60s or 70s.
Oh, yeah.
And we need younger guys to step up to the plate and say, hey, we want to continue the tradition. We want to continue the music. And Shadow Links most definitely has stepped into that role.
Thank you very, very much. We really big on taking the BS and the ego out of the stain of the word heavy metal and hard rock. It's really a shame that and I'll just say it in our past. And I'm 46 years old, proud to say it. But in our past,
hang on, Sean. Hang on.
Yes,
Bernie. He just said he's 46. Okay, so
I know, I heard that. So what, you're going to say that I'm old because I want somebody that's younger than me finally?
No, what I'm saying is that's his accent. He said he's 46.
Okay, I know, I like that.
Not 46, he's 46. Okay, I'm sorry, Sean, go ahead.
I mean corn on the cob, not pound on the cob.
I love that shit.
Corn on the cob.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Is that okay, but that's where Massachusetts talking?
Massachusetts,
style?
yes.
Over here, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like when the president used to talk, that kind of talk, right? Like that John Kennedy. They used to.
Yes, kind, John
right?
Kennedy. Yes.
Yeah, yes. Like the way they used to talk, like their accent.
Yes.
Oh, that is so cool. And I thought I had an accent. Now you beat one on me, and you're actually a year younger than me.
Well,
and Steve never rubbed it in my nose yet, but he will.
I don't think Sean's a Democrat, though. You can't be in heavy metal and be a Democrat. You've got to. No. You got to.
I will give you an insight on that, though. You can get your own kick. There's a song, and this is dedicated to the fans that have seen us live around here, because so far we've only played this song live. It will be on the new album. It's a song called Poison Thorn.
Yeah.
And even though it has been rewritten by myself because of didn't want to offend too many people, the very first line is, "No political interest, I don't get the point. The government snow job, who smoked the joint?"
Well, there you go. And listen,
one.
we are equal opportunity offenders, so don't worry about it.
You know, so that song will be coming out. There's been some live clippings of it at some of our shows, but one of my favorite lines, and now we're going to get all kinds of reactions from this one, is oh my God, I can't stop laughing. This is so funny.
I'm laughing with you. Don't worry. He's rolling his eyes at me because I'm trying to hold my.
But we have.
I'm like the biggest laughing one person on the air, I think.
We try to tell people not to take themselves too serious.
Oh yes.
We take our music serious because when we write it, honestly, we're not serious. We hear what each individual will throw in to an idea of maybe Jack started or I started or even John at the point, and we'll grow with it. And sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. But everybody in the band, from Keith to Chris to Jack to John to I, everyone gets a say-so. Hey, maybe we should throw a double bass line in that. Okay, let's try it. Well, that didn't work. Okay, no, that worked. It's simple as that. You got to have fun. You really have to have
check the
fun.
egos at the door. Check the egos at the door,
absolutely.
and let's get in here and let's do what we're supposed to do.
Absolutely, and you couldn't be any more right. And I'm really glad that we can emphasize on that because, you know, I've sat at places where I'm just chilling out having a non-alcoholic beer, and I'm just sitting there, and then, you know, you got this guy playing that night, and I'm looking forward to hearing what's going down because I hear it's something I might be into, and then I get this ego trip being thrown at me. This dude don't even have any idea who I am. You know, I didn't step up to his face and say, "Yeah, I'm going to start throwing 4 to 5 octaves in your face just to get you to walk away."
Yeah.
You know, and people have to let that stuff go. I mean, there's good and bad in everything.
Oh, yes.
Especially music. I mean, how I started, long story short, because it could be a long story, was I started by impersonating Elvis Presley. To me, the world's greatest performer and the most beautiful voice I've ever heard in my life.
Sure, absolutely.
And I still sing that stuff, and I still, you know, sneak into karaoke bars and have a good time and see people that isn't involved in music, but they have a good time. And that's important to me, to be able to step aside and see people do that. I'm not there to show off, even though some people have asked me about that. And I have gotten fans that way. I've gotten some new friends that way. But again, it's an alliance, people. I mean, you know, it's not, heavy metal's an alliance, but music should be a bond. It really should be. And you know what? I'm not a fan of the auto-tune. I'm just coming straight out and telling you.
No.
I'm an old dog that comes from a time when people around me could just sit there without a microphone, sit in the grass, do whatever they're doing, and be able to belt out a nice melody that just came out of their head just because that's how they feel that day, or that's the way they felt with the sun shining on their face or the grass on their toes.
Right.
I mean, simple as that. And music should be appreciated. And to me, it's memories. And every lyric that I write has a dark overtone, like Ronnie James Dio or Jim Morrison, or even the poetic strength of Led Zeppelin. But there's always a positive message behind it. And if people would take time to really listen to it, they would really understand that each one of our songs is going to mean something different to you than it is to the way we wrote it. And that's awesome.
Everybody's going to hear a song differently. Not everybody heard "Stairway to Heaven" the same. Not everybody did that. Not everybody heard Elvis's songs the same way. I mean, that when Elvis first started, Bernie and I were just talking about this last week on the show. The guys at the Grand Ole Opry, when Elvis went there for the first time, looked at him and said, "What the hell are you doing here?
You should go back to driving a truck."
Yeah, you should go back to driving a truck. They told that to Elvis Presley, and he said, "I'll never step foot in his place again," and he didn't.
He did not. He absolutely did not. He also bombed in Vegas in '56, and by '76 he owned it.
He owned it, absolutely. So, I mean, you grow in your music, and as you continue to grow together as a group, you'll start to meld. It's almost like a marriage.
It really is. My mother likes to call it a brotherhood.
Yes.
A band of brothers. And I've referred to them as metal brothers many, many times. And it truly is, because if I feel that one of them is hurting in one way or the other, or if I am in one way or the other, I will turn to them and I will discuss it with them. And one thing I will definitely say is I'm there for you. Whether it's a short conversation or a straight up or a hug. I mean, it's these people are very important. It's very, very hard to take 5 personalities and click. And, a lot of people say, "Oh, you guys must practice all the time." I got news for you. Life doesn't let us practice all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We would love to sit there every day and play for hours. I can imagine the kind of music we'd write. You know what I mean? If we had the time.
Yeah,
but, truth be told, summer is really hard. People have families, people have children, and people have jobs and things to do. And when we do practice, it's like it just happens.
Yeah,
it just literally happens. I mean, people offer us a show, whether it's a local show or a big venue, whatever. It comes down the road that's like, okay, we need to throw a practice in, and we really feel this way. We need to throw a practice in before this gig. We'll do that, and we'll get together, and we will bust butt. I mean, literally that practice like we practiced every day, and so we're ready for the show or damn close. I'd like to. There's been other interviews out there, so I'm not gonna capitalize or get on anything like that I've said before about if you're other bands and everything. But I do really wish local bands would understand that it's not a competition, and we're never going to stop bringing it, so to speak. So if you want an example of a band that always brought it with every good band, Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
Twisted Sister brought it. And really, really, that's their shtick. Dee is very famous for pushing it over the edge, and we do the same thing in our own way. The only thing is Shadowlinks knows what makes us happy and what represents us. So if you see me holding that invisible crystal ball or turning the pages of an invisible spell book or something to tell that story, you might want to ask what the song was about.
Yeah.
You might want to ask what's going through my mind just for that reason. The other thing is uniform. Uniform, I'm a huge Elvis fan, so I wore black baggy pants and a black baggy shirt with maybe a dragon or flames on it for the longest time. And I still dye my hair black, you know. And the thing is the guys approached me and said, "You're part of us. You're one of us, and you're the storyteller in the front of us. So let's get together and see what we can do about getting an outfit." Now, when you see us, we're all in black leather, leather vests, skulls. I got 3 rings that are John, Keith, and Jack. That's what I call them, my kids.
Yeah.
John, Keith, and Jack, named after my guitar players. They're big old skull rings. They're in some of the photographs. And
you're what you call metal looking, my friend. That's what I could say that for sure.
Thank you very much. And you know what? To us, we enjoy that. It's a game. We're not trying to be better than anyone else. We're not trying to outdo anybody else. You want to hear me outdo somebody? Let me write the next song, because I challenge myself vocally so many times. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't tell you how many times, even on the album that you've heard, that I turned around and said, how am I going to sing this?
Yeah.
I got to learn to sing this song now.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's all part of, and when you said don't take yourself too serious, talk to a guy like Alice Cooper. When Alice is off stage, he talks about Alice in the third person, because Alice is that character on stage.
Right.
And then, Alice the villain. But when Alice comes off stage, Alice is the husband, the dad, the grandpa, the Sunday school teacher. He's not Alice the villain. So he and the guy's he's 70 years old and still out there playing, 100, 150 shows a year, everywhere, all over the world.
Phenomenal. I love the way, and I'm glad you brought up Alice Cooper, because I would love to give a shout out to Alice Cooper and the band members that he plays with even now, because when I saw Alice Cooper open for the ever immortal Iron Maiden, it was a phenomenal lineup. And what he did is he took his classic songs and he made them more modern, into today's power metal.
Yeah.
A lot of double bass, a lot of beautiful guitar work, and updated everything. And I'll tell you, Alice Cooper 2.0 or 2.18 was phenomenal.
Welcome to my nightmare. He's got a new live album out.
Wow.
One of the things that I think is cool, and I'm all about equality, is the lady guitar players that he has out there. First of all, he had Orianthi, who played she played with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And then she ran off with Richie Sambora, and that's all over now. But now he's got Nina Strauss. And Nina Strauss, oh my God.
Right.
She is Yngwie Malmsteen with boobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I mean, she is just, and that's no disrespect to Nina, I'm just saying, oh my God, what an incredible guitar player.
She's a female rising force.
Oh my God. It's just, she is just amazing. I mean, Alice knows how to surround himself with good people, and that's what it is about, a band. Surround yourself with good people. Get good people. Get like-minded people in your band. You may have to go through a few schlup heads until you find the right people. But I mean, look at a band like Aerosmith. As much trouble as they've had, they're going to celebrate over 40 years, and it's still the original guys. Look at some of the other bands that don't have the original guys for whatever reason.
Absolutely.
And they come from merry old New England, too, as well. But, Boston boys. But it's just, getting the right sound together. Now, we started out the show with Destiny and Beast. And I believe that's 2 songs, correct? Or is it one?
It on the album, it's one. But I tried to send you them separated.
I played them together.
Great.
And it sounded awesome. Now, we have Diamonds. Tell us a little bit about Diamonds real quick. And then the other song that we are going to play is, let me find it, is Hailfire. So tell me about Diamonds and Hailfire.
Okay, the first thing with Diamonds is Diamonds is an updated version of a song I wrote with another band, Shadow Sanctuary, called Diamonds and Souls.
Okay.
And what it's about is my brother, who passed away last year, he died in his early 40s, and they brought him back from pancreatitis, alcohol abuse.
Oh, man.
Okay, severe alcohol abuse. And he was in a coma, and I was in that band at the time, and diamonds, for some reason it came to me, diamonds, you can spend your whole life chasing after the almighty dollar, and what you're going to be risking is the deepness and finding out who you really are. You're going to be surrounded by shallowness and shallow ideals.
Right.
And you're going to miss out. You might even miss out love, which I was lucky enough to experience a couple of years ago, and I'm not regretted at all. So souls, in which it says in that song Diamonds also, is the path you would choose to look inside yourself and find out who you really are. There's so many people that are fake out there. There's so many people that don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
And they can be any age. You know what? It's not that hard. All you have to do is stop lying, stop conning, and stop freaking stealing. I mean, I'm telling you, work for what you have, earn what you have, and it's going to be self-rewarding. As many people know, I used to be a Catholic. I'm not a Catholic, but I do believe in karma, or karma. You guys, you know, and all it means is it's not a bad thing if somebody does something for somebody without getting self-gain.
Right.
You know, you don't have to get something back just because you helped somebody or gave them a cigarette or $1 for something for lunch. Don't expect it back. You know, I mean...
You give things to people because you want to give to them.
You want to.
Exactly.
That's right.
You want to help. You want to help in one small or large way. You don't want the benefits of somebody to say, oh, well, you gave $100 to that charity.
Right.
Oh, you know what? If you want that kind of credibility, join a sport.
Yeah.
Seriously. You know, if you want to compete like that, join a sport. But people, let's get our heads out of our butts and realize, for one thing, to stop this color crap either. You know, we all bleed red. Simple as that.
Yeah.
We all bleed red. And you know what? It took me a while to accept different things with people in the gay community and things like that. And you know what? I met some of the most wonderful people out there that choose what they want to choose. And you know what? That's nobody's business. That's their business.
Yeah.
That's our business, you know. And it's really ridiculous how people are judging people on choices they make. What about the choices you were making?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Are you the moron that's turning the key that just had over a 12-pack and 3 shots?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you know, I mean, or did you just take that $5 bill that you saw that woman just drop out of her pocket and you don't want to tell her?
Well, you know, I grew up in church myself. I'm not a very religious guy now, but one of the passages in the Bible that affected me the most was, "Judge not, lest ye be judged."
Exactly.
And I don't quote the Bible very often, but I try to live my life that way. And, you know, I don't judge anybody for anything. I don't want them judging me.
Right.
You know, but, I mean, you make life's decisions. You have to deal with it. But you know
Absolutely.
what? If you screw up, I'm there to help you.
Yep.
Okay?
Absolutely.
No
Absolutely.
judgment. No, see, I told you so. No bullshit like that. It's just, you know, hey, I'm here to help you, man. I'm here to help you.
Yeah,
So,
and it's not going to be something where, you know, where it's this big circle where, you know, you do this for somebody and then you know,
you expect it back. You expect it back.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I find that very, very ridiculous. Music in general, to me, is a gift from the musicians. I mean, hands down.
Right.
I personally feel that our music in Shadowlinks is a gift to our fans that don't want to listen to the stuff that we don't sound like.
Right.
And I'm not cutting them down. I'm just saying, you're a Maiden fan. You're a Metallica fan. You're a Halloween fan. Whoever we have. Faith
Slayer,
Warning. I mean,
yeah.
it sound like all kinds of bands.
King's X.
Yeah, King's X. Cool.
Now, I'm going to play King's X here in just a little bit.
Nice. So that's what Diamonds is. And you want to know about Hailfire.
Hailfire.
Hailfire has been with me from the beginning, from the shadows, long time ago. And it was a 4-piece band. There's many renditions that have been online of that song. But that song means everything. And, I mean, you listen to the song, it's got that Black Sabbath intro. There's a reason for it, because we used to have the Am I Evil intro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as soon as I heard that song, I said, Bernie, that's Black Sabbath.
Oh,
that's what Steve said, and I was like, damn, I really like these guys, Steve. They're heavier, but I like them. And he's like, oh, I do too. I hear a lot of Sabbath there. And I was like, yeah.
And we love Sabbath. We truly do. I'm a huge Ozzy fan. And the guys, again, though, when they came up with that intro, all I said to them is, don't make it sound like Am I Evil? Because that's what it used to sound like before, and I kind of settled with it, and then I just never felt right because with it and the intro they came up with now, it has Sabbath's influence, but it's not a direct,
right. It's not a rip-off. But, Sean, there's nothing wrong as a musician, letting your influences come through your music.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that.
We can't help that. Especially me.
I mean,
I can't help.
The blues had a baby, and it's called rock and roll. So, I mean, listen, oh my God, listen to Cinderella. I mean, even though that it's hair music, Tom Kiefer is very bluesy. Listen to Led Zeppelin, very bluesy. There's so much rock and roll that's got blues in it. It's not funny. I mean, there's no reason not to let your influences come through your music, because one of these days you're going to be influencing somebody.
Oh, absolutely, and we joke about that too, because we'll be like, "Well, I haven't had anybody impersonate us yet."
Well, but it's not impersonation. Greta Van Fleet is taking a major load of crap because the lead singer sounds a little bit like Robert Plant. But those kids are going to 2,000-seat venues every frickin' night and selling them out. So keep going and sounding like Robert Plant, because pretty soon it'll be 20,000 seats instead of 2,000.
What band is that?
Greta Van Fleet.
Oh, I'll have to check it out.
Oh, dude, check them out.
You gotta hear
awesome.
them. If you haven't, you have to. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, definitely check them out.
Yeah, and
you'll like the.
And listen, Sean, make sure that you guys spend a lot of time in Yesterday and Today's Jukebox, the group, and get to know these other
bands. Invite your friends
bands.
so we could get to know the band as well, like everybody else.
Get to know the other bands, because we have some awesome other bands in there.
Like, I mean, the members of your band as well, so that we can get to meet them. Sorry, Steve.
That's all right.
We're always looking for new influences of and new bands. We
making new friends.
Oh, definitely. We just did a show in Revere Beach that was absolutely phenomenal. In the the bands that were on it were very, very talented bands. I wasn't aware of so much talent. I mean, that came out of it, and we all got along. We all got along great, and we've talked about doing more shows together and things like that. And it's. I'd like to see more bands, not just us, but I'd like to see more bands pull together like that. We have actually had, not to talk too much of a darker note, but I do want to address this. We had a band in our neighborhood, so to speak, come up. I don't know if they're from your area or not, but they're on our record label, Alone Records, from Greece and everything. And we weren't even asked in a club that we are very familiar with to even be on that bill because of a promoter. And I'm not going to point fingers or point it out.
Promoters are some of the biggest weasels. They're some of the nicest guys, but they are some of the biggest weasels ever.
Biggest weasels.
Oh, yeah.
Ever.
Oh, yeah.
Ever.
You have to be
good and bad and all.
Good bad to get that out.
Yeah, Sean, you got to be very careful. Always ask 50% up front. We don't hit the stage until we got 50%.
I know, right?
Always. If you want me to manage you, I'll manage you, because I'll get you your 50%. Or we get our asses in the bus and go home. That's all.
Well, we are looking for a tour manager. That's definitely something we're looking for.
Well, we'll see what happens. Anyway, I listen. I am very excited about Shadow Links, and I know Bernie is as well. Listen to the other bands we have. We're going to play Lindsay Says here. They're from North Carolina, which is really not all that far from you.
Sure.
They are a great metal band. We've got Angelus that's coming up. Now, these are a bunch of guys that have been around for a long time. Of course, they're out in California. They have a new CD out coming out as well. We're going to play them in just a little bit. We've got a lot of metal bands. Anchored, we just played. What was the other ones, Bernie? I can't remember. Oh, Beyond the Gray. We're going to do Beyond the Gray. They're from Vancouver. They're from Vancouver. Get in that group and get in there and introduce yourself.
There was that one there that I really liked. That group that we played. What was it? Beyond the
Beyond the Gray. Beyond the Gray. They're very good.
Was it Danny Grant? Was that it? No, Dakota Blue.
Oh, Dakota Blue. There's another. Well, they're more of a southern rock band than they are the heavy metal.
Oh, okay, but
they're awesome. They're awesome as well.
Did you play us already? Did I miss that?
No. We've got all the stuff coming up.
Oh, I didn't even know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we've got all the stuff coming up.
I was actually on your page trying to give the people how to get on to hear you. When you go into TuneIn app, you type in Karma Radio or Karma, and the radio app will pop up, and then you guys could all hear us for those who can't or don't understand how to connect with us. Or go to the Karma page, and there's the blue button underneath that says Use App. If your friends or anybody out there is listening that did not make sense. But if someone needs help listening, they can use that app on our webpage.
Yeah, on our webpage, our new redesigned webpage, and I'm working on that too. So,
this is being recorded.
Yeah, I recorded this. So what I'm going to do is I'll put it up as a video because you can't put audio on Facebook because it's stupid. And then I'll get that up in the next couple of days. My laptop died. I used it at home, drove into here, and it died. I used it 10 minutes before I left to come here, and then it died.
It ain't even funny.
No, it's not even funny. So I'm going to have to go get a new laptop now, and because all my radio station stuff is on that laptop.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, that's a bite in the ass. But anyway, listen, we appreciate you calling. Sean, our show is your show anytime if you're sitting around drinking a beer, if you're having a beer, and you want to call in, feel free to call in. That's not a problem at all.
Definitely have some of the guys call you guys sometimes, too.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Yes, Sean, thank you, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you for interacting with me, getting this all
very
happening.
Welcome. Thank you for supporting what we're trying to do.
Hey, listen, we hate to beg, but if you got T-shirts and CDs, send them.
I know it.
We always say
I'm way ahead of you. I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk to my boy, and see what we come up with to get something out to you.
I will message you my address and just send Bernie's stuff to me, and I'll get it to her.
Absolutely.
All righty.
Absolutely.
All righty. Well, Sean, listen, we appreciate it. We're going to metal out tonight here on Karma Radio.
And we hope to hear from you again, brother. And
yes.
You guys, I love you guys.
Oh,
it's so easy to love you guys. It's not hard at all.
Yeah, Sean.
No effort.
Sean Boucher. The next song that you are going to hear is "Diamonds" from the CD Forged as One. Sean, thank you very much, man. It was a pleasure meeting you, and we look forward to hearing from you again.
Same here. You have a good night.
Spread the karma love. Share the karma love with your friends.
Yes,
I will.
You guys are now officially part of Karma.
Thank you.
It's not a one-time thing, Sean. It's not a one-time thing. You are now part of Karma.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because now your music's on our rotation, so on any of our shows you can tune in, or your bands and stuff, and we will be playing your music that you give us. So.
Well, horns up and horns high to all the Karma fans out there and heavy metal fans out there that realize that all they have to do is just keep standing up for what they feel that is right and what they want to listen to, and the Alliance will lead itself.
That's right, brother. That's what Ronnie James Dio was all about. That's what Ronnie James Dio lived for.
Oh, yes, he did.
That's what he was. So, all right. Hey, you take care, my friend.
Yep.
We will talk to you very soon.
Thank you
rock on,
again,
guys.
my brother, and keep in touch with me, okay?
Definitely.
All right, we'll see you
Thank
later.
you, and send us some more music.
Okay.
I will.
All right,
Have a good
bye-bye.
night.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
All righty, that was Sean Boucher, Bernie.
Yeah, right on.
I tell you what, I was very impressed with what he had to say. Very impressed. Very impressed.
Very,
I
very
was.
well put
I like
together
his.
talking. That's for sure.
No, I like his attitude, and I love the way he said.
thinking.
I love the way he said he was farty 6. See, people talk about your accent.
Well, now I don't feel so bad. There's someone, that has an accent, too.
Hell, everybody's got an accent. Nobody's originally from here, but the First Nation people. So everybody's got an accent.
And even us, we lost our language. We got accents.
Well, Columbus Day is the biggest farce in the world. He didn't find shit. So, I mean, let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. So here they are. This is Shadow Links off the album Forged as One, Diamonds, right here
On Karma Internet Radio. Horns up.